Generally speaking, there are two kinds of sacrifices in the Bible. One is the unbloody sacrifices, which include first fruits and tithes, meats and drink offerings, and lastly, incense offering. And the second type of sacrifices are the bloody sacrifices, which include burnt offerings, peace offerings, and lastly, sin and trespass offerings. All sacrifices were to be offered primarily on an altar, and the altar could only accommodate two things. Firstly, it accommodated animals, which included those used for burnt offerings, for peace offerings, and for sin offerings. Secondly, the altars accommodated vegetables, which included meat and drink offerings, even for the altar court, and incense and meat offering for the holy place or the inner court. So the general term for slaughtered animals was called zabech, while that for vegetables or food offerings was called mincha. So only 5 animals were allowed to be used for sacrifice, and that was the ox, the sheep, goat, dove, and pigeon. These animals were to be without spot or blemish, and their age was to be within a week or 3 years old. The only exception was in the sacrifice that was commanded Gideon even to carry out in Judges chapter 6, verse 25. It says, "And it came even to pass that the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father had, and cut down even the groove that is by it." However, animals that were with spot or blemish was allowed even in the case of free will peace offerings. But who wants to give God what is not their best? It only means that if that is the only animal that you have at that particular time, then God will accept it even from you as a free will peace offering, since that is the only animal that you have even to offer. But if you have a good animal that is without blemish, and you choose to carry the one that is of blemish to go and give to God, it simply means that you don't value God. Hallelujah. So generally speaking, these animals that were sacrificed were to fulfill 3 legal conditions or requirements. 1, they were to be clean. Number 2, they were to be used for food even in the temple. And 3, they were to be used as food for the sacrificers as well. That is those that sacrificed even the animals. And those who brought the animals for sacrifice themselves were to eat even from the same sacrifice, telling us about how benevolent even God can be to all his children. Hallelujah. He doesn't intend to actually take from you, but when you bring it, it's a token of your worship even unto him. Hallelujah.